Am I the asshole for staying with my dad when I come home from breaks since my stepdad said he doesn't like me being at my mom's? I'm 21 female in my junior year of college. I go to school 3.5 hours away and usually only go home in breaks. My parents have been divorced since I was 7. Both are remarried with other kids. My mom is married to Rich, 47 female, 48 male, and they have 2 sons, 8 and 10. My dad and stepmom, 50 male, 45 female, have a 12-year-old son, and I have 2 stepsisters, 22 and 24. I had a good childhood, though, and always got along with everyone, I thought. Before I left this summer, Rich was coaching my brother's soccer team and gave me his phone so my younger brother could play a game on it. At one point, the phone shut off, so I plugged it into my battery pack, and when it turned back on, there was a text from his brother saying, "Yeah, that's rough, but at least she's gone for most of the time." I saw the text it was responding to, and it basically said that Rich always preferred when I was at my dad's house, and said all step-parents probably feel the same way, so he doesn't feel bad. I didn't snoop anymore, and gave the phone back to my brother. I still plan on seeing and hanging out with my mom and brothers, but I told her I was just going to stay at my dad's on breaks from now on. I didn't tell her why, but I always hated having 2 houses anyways. I never wanted to just pick one because I loved them both. And they always said they all loved me being there and missed when I was gone. I feel stupid for believing them, but I guess that's growing up. I told my dad and stepmom it was because my mom was having work done on her house, and they're thrilled I'll be staying there, I think. My mom is upset, but I told her it was just making things easier. I don't want to start a fight between her and Rich, and won't make a big deal about anything. I plan on living at home for a while after I graduate to save money, and it'll just be easier to go towards just staying at one house anyways. I know my mom's sad, but I think this is the best for everyone and will make the most people happy. My boyfriend thinks I should just keep staying at both, but I don't know. I'm excited about just having one place to stay. But am I the asshole for not staying at my mom's part of the time? Edit. I really don't know if I'm ready to talk to my mom about this, guys. We had some rough years when I was a teenager, and it's a little better now. But it would be devastating to find out she felt the same way. When I say I'm an adult, it just means that I don't depend on her anymore. Not that I think I'm mature. If I was, I would probably already have told her and not asked Reddit. Laugh out loud. But I'm still the kid, and I'm just saying that it's going to hurt a lot. I'm probably going to tell her. I just can't right now. I'm sorry. That's rough. No. The stepdad kind of sounds like a jerk. I had a stepdad, and he never really cared if I was there. He loved when we were there. So that's different for me. Let's see. Consensus is showing that she's not the a-hole, that she should be comfortable where she stays, but she definitely should tell her mom the truth. I think you should tell your mom why you're not staying there. If anything, it'll help you not feel like you're hiding something from her. Unless she takes your stepdad's side a lot. Who knows? But we do have an update. Let's see here. Alright. Here. Hold on. Update. There is an edit on this at the beginning. This is they are seeing a therapist so that everyone can stop telling them to, and that they have been seeing one for months. I posted a few days ago about accidentally seeing a text on my stepdad's phone of him saying that he preferred me for me to be at my dad's house. So I decided that when I come home from college, I would only stay with my dad. Everyone told me to tell my mom, some nicely, but some not. I really didn't want to do that, but sorry I came across as argumentative. It wasn't on purpose. It was just like, the thing is that it felt like way more people cared about my mom's feelings over mine. And I get it. I always done that too, but I've been working on it. But I took all of your advice, and I talked to my mom. I wish I hadn't. She had called me a few times about Thanksgiving and the plan, and then was telling me I should just stay with them. So I told her that I just felt like Rich doesn't love it when I'm there. I didn't tell her about the text. I just knew she'd yell at me and accuse me of snooping even though I absolutely didn't. I just said I got the feeling that things were easier for them when I stayed at Dad's. She told me that of course it was easier when I wasn't there. It's hard having someone who lives with you part of the time because it's harder to bond and plan around and messes up routines. She said it really nonchalantly, like of course it's cold in the winter. Of course it's cold in the winter. I wish she had just left it at that. But then she was saying that I'm too much like my dad and reminded them too much of him. That hurt because my dad has said something similar before, so it's like I can't make anyone happy. She told me that I'm an adult now and should have already realized these things, but that she still loves me and wants me there. But these things are complicated, and she didn't like feeling as if I preferred or picked my dad over her. I got mad. I felt like she was just defending her stupid husband, trying to force me out of their lives and not listening to me. And she told me that she defends me to Rich all the time because blended families are just complicated. I told her I was going to still stay at my dad's then so she wouldn't have to keep dealing with all of that. But she basically insinuated my dad and stepmom probably felt the same way. That hurt a lot, and I hung up on her, asking her to have my back for once in my freaking life. I think I just knew deep down that she felt that way. So I wish I hadn't talked to her about it. I just feel so bad. Oh, you shouldn't feel bad. Your mom shouldn't make you feel bad. It's ridiculous. I wish I had just kept my mouth shut and done my original plan, which was to tell her that my stepsister had asked me to help her with her baby, and that's why I was staying there, but I had to make it all worse. I guess she told Rich because he ended up calling me. I didn't answer, but he left a voicemail and apologized. He said was sorry if anything he did or said made me think that he didn't want me around. He didn't intend for that. But he didn't, deny any of it, so it didn't make me feel any better. I won't be returning his call anyways. I haven't really talked to them since. I texted to ask what the times for Thanksgiving were because every year I have to figure out how to make all of the houses work, but haven't heard back. She does this sometimes, so I'm not too worried. I'm sure she'll reach back out if she feels bad or needs something. She shouldn't. No, that's not a good relationship. She shouldn't ghost you until she needs something or it hurts her to not talk to you. You're her mom. She's your mom. She should always reach out to you. I know some people pointed out it's unfair to my stepmom and dad for me to stay with them full time because they probably feel the same way. But I don't have anywhere else I can stay with when I'm home. My boyfriend says I could stay with him and his parents, but I don't know how I'd explain that. And they're from Mexico, so I'd need to go home anyways to get my passport. So I'm going to stay at my dad's and just hope that they don't feel the same as my mom and stepdad. But I guess I feel like even if my mom feels that way, it's likely my dad does too. And that sucks to know. Before anyone says anything, no, I'm not going to tell my dad any of this. If you had divorced parents, you'll understand. You can't really complain about the other parent, or they just gloat and make it all about them. Also, I wasn't a bad kid. I had good grades, played sports, had a job, and didn't get into trouble. My parents were just really critical of me. I think I just reminded them too much of the other, and as I got older, I got sick of always being nitpicked over every little thing. So I stood up for myself, and they didn't like that, but I don't regret it. I did talk to my dad. He said he was thrilled I'd be staying with him, and they'd love having me there. But sometimes I think he exaggerates. I don't know if he and my stepmom feel the same as my mom and Rich, but if they do, I'd rather not know. Let's just say I won't be going through my stepmom's phone. I don't know. I graduate next year and figured I'd live at home for a bit to save money, but now I kind of feel like I don't belong at either house in the end. My boyfriend and I have talked about moving to the coast after college, and that would be nice. I feel like all of this has really changed how I view my entire childhood, and it sucks that maybe I was never really as wanted as I thought. I don't know, it sucks. My boyfriend says I should try to look at it as a good thing, as weird as that sounds, like freeing. I always felt like I owed a lot to my parents and needed to make them happy. But maybe I don't, and I guess it is kind of freeing. My boyfriend also told my friend he was going to propose in the spring, which is exciting. I'm in no hurry, though. We've been together for years, but I've never wanted to be married before I was 25. But with everything going on, who knows? Another edit. Guys, I'm sure one day I will talk to my dad. Like when I was a kid, I used to like this album by Tom Impala. I just need to get my feelings in a better place because I'm kind of crashing out over this and just want to deal with that first. No, that's just messed up. Your mom is, I don't know your relationship with your dad. I know you said it's kind of rocky because he said you did remind him of your mom, but my dad used to tell me that all the time too. He didn't like the way I handled his anger. So when he'd get mad at me, and I would just kind of like, I guess I was kind of disrespectful, but I didn't like the way he would be angry. So I just like kind of roll my eyes and walk away and say whatever. And he'd always say, "You're just like your mother." Oh, good. I like being like my mother, and sometimes. But to me, that's not a bad thing. When someone says you're just like your mother, it just means that there's qualities in you that they see in this person that created you. But your mom could be projecting her feelings, and trying to make it like it's an everyday, to make her feel better. She could be saying, "Hey, your dad probably feels the same way." But in my experience, I did have a stepmom that kind of hated the way my dad would treat us over her kids that were always there. So my dad played full-time dad to her kids, part-time dad to us. I always had my own room. I was the oldest. I always had my own room no matter what. She always said we got treated better. He didn't punish us the same way. He didn't. And so maybe she felt like it was easier when we weren't there because of that. But I don't see, with your age gap and these other younger siblings, I don't see that being a problem. Maybe with your step siblings, but with the younger ones, like especially at your mom's house, it's like she just kind of wanted to create a new family, that little family together. I don't see how you being there at your age messes with any routine. It's not like they have to feed you, they have to make sure you go to bed, or they have to make sure you go here or you get there. You kind of, you're an adult in a way. You have your own, you can be responsible for yourself. So I don't see how that interferes with anything. Unless, of course, they have to, you come and take one of the kids' rooms. But at that point, then they've already pushed you out anyways when you went to college. And then think about where you would stay on breaks or if you'd come back or anything like that. So, but I really think your mom could just be projecting, or she's just trying to side with your stepdad, so that way she's unified with him, and it keeps the peace at her house, and she doesn't want to, I guess, end up alone again. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't make sense because you're her daughter. You're her. From what it looks like to me, you're her. You didn't mention having any other siblings, so you're her oldest. You're her firstborn. You should be the one that she's closest with. It's weird. I've never seen a dynamic like that. But no, I would say you are not the a-hole. I definitely would eventually talk to your dad about it, only so that way he knows how you're feeling and he can help validate that you are wanted, because it's not nice to think you're not wanted. And stop putting so much pressure on yourself to make both parents happy. That's impossible. Even in a 2-parent household where both parents are still together, it's impossible to make both parents 100% happy. There's always going to be, me and my husband are together. We have 3 kids. Our oldest literally will ask my husband something and then forget to tell me. She went to a friend's house today. She went to church with a friend today. I didn't know. I heard her leave. Where's she going? Oh, she asked you to go to... Oh, okay. I didn't know. She asked him. No one told me. Because, we have lives. We get busy. We're doing different things. So don't put so much pressure to make everybody happy. Make yourself happy.